Lily was a bright and cheerful 12-year-old who loved exploring her neighborhood. She lived with her parents and little brother in a cozy house on a quiet street. One sunny afternoon, Lily set out on her usual route home from school, but she never made it. As she walked, Lily's mind wandered to the math test she had aced that day and the birthday party she was planning for her best friend. She didn't notice when she took a wrong turn, and before she knew it, she was lost in an unfamiliar part of town. The streets were eerily quiet, and the houses seemed to loom over her. Lily's heart began to race as she quickened her pace, but her sense of unease only grew. And then, in an instant, everything changed. A hand reached out from behind a tree and grabbed her arm, pulling her into the shadows. Lily tried to scream, but her voice was muffled by a hand clamped over her mouth. She was dragged away from the street, her feet struggling to keep up with her captor's swift pace. As they turned a corner, Lily saw a van parked by the curb, its engine running. The side door slid open, and she was pushed inside. The door slammed shut behind her, and the van sped away, leaving Lily's world in darkness and chaos. The van drove for what felt like hours, Lily's mind racing with thoughts of escape and rescue. She was trapped, with no idea where she was headed or who had taken her. The only sound was the hum of the engine and the muffled voices of her captors. Finally, the van came to a stop. The door opened, and Lily was pulled out into a dimly lit alley. She saw a figure standing in the shadows, its features obscured by the darkness. And then, a voice spoke, its tone cold and menacing. "So, you're a brave one, huh?" the voice said, echoing off the alley walls. "What's your name, girl?" Lily hesitated, unsure if she should answer. But something about the voice made her feel like she had to respond. Lily," she stammered. "And your father's name?" the voice asked, its tone growing more menacing. Lily's heart raced as she thought of her father. She didn't want to put him in danger, but she also didn't want to anger her captors. His name is John," she said finally. The figure stepped forward, its features still hidden in the shadows. "John, huh? Well, Lily, it seems you come from a wealthy family. Your father is a successful businessman, isn't he?" Lily nodded, fear creeping up her spine. She knew where this was going. "Good," the voice said, its tone dripping with greed. "We'll be asking your father for a large sum of money in exchange for your safe return. And if he doesn't pay, well, let's just say you won't be going home anytime soon." Lily's eyes welled up with tears as she realized the gravity of her situation. She was a pawn in a twisted game, and her only hope was that her father would somehow find a way to rescue her. Just as Lily was starting to lose hope, the figure pulled out a phone and dialed a number. "John, it's time to pay the price for your daughter's safe return," the voice said, its tone cold and calculating. Lily's father's voice was laced with worry and fear as he replied, "How much do you want?" "Oh, we don't just want money, John," the voice said with a chuckle. "We want access to your business, your secrets, your everything. And if you don't comply, well, let's just say Lily will be staying with us for a very long time." Lily's heart raced as she realized the true extent of her captor's demands. They weren't just ordinary kidnappers, they were ruthless criminals who would stop at nothing to get what they wanted. Just as the conversation was ending, a noise echoed through the alley, making everyone freeze. It was the sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, coming from the shadows. The figure holding Lily tensed, its grip on her arm tightening. "It seems we have an unexpected visitor," it whispered, its voice laced with a hint of fear. Lily's eyes scanned the darkness, trying to make out who or what was approaching. And then, a figure emerged from the shadows, its features illuminated by the faint moonlight. The figure was tall and imposing, with piercing eyes that seemed to bore into the souls of Lily's captors. He was dressed in a long, black coat that billowed behind him like a dark cloud, and his presence was both commanding and intimidating. "Let her go," he growled, his voice low and menacing. "She's not a part of this." The figure holding Lily sneered. "And who are you to dictate terms?" it spat. The newcomer didn't flinch. "Someone who won't let you harm an innocent girl," he replied, his eyes never leaving Lily's face. Lily felt a surge of hope. Could this stranger be her rescuer? But as she looked into his eyes, she saw something there that made her heart skip a beat. Something that made her wonder if she was trading one danger for another. Something that made her wonder if she was trading one danger for another. His eyes seemed to hold a secret, a hidden intensity that made her both fascinated and terrified. The figure holding her snarled, "You think you can take on all of us? We have the upper hand here." The stranger smiled, a cold, calculated smile. "I don't need to take on all of you," he said. "Just the one holding the girl." With a swift motion, he reached into his coat and pulled out a small, gleaming knife. Lily's heart raced as he began to circle around them, his eyes fixed on her captor. "You see, I've been watching you," he said, his voice low and menacing. "I know your tactics, your weaknesses. And I know exactly how to take you down." The figure holding her tightened its grip, but Lily could feel a hint of fear emanating from it. The stranger's words were laced with a confidence, a certainty that was unnerving. Suddenly, the stranger lunged, the knife flashing in the moonlight. Lily's captor tried to defend itself, but the stranger was too quick, too precise. With a swift motion, he disarmed the figure and pinned it to the ground. The stranger's grip was like a vice, his eyes blazing with an intensity that made Lily shiver. Her captor struggled and squirmed, but it was no match for the stranger's strength. "You're coming with me, Lily," the stranger said, his voice firm but gentle. "You're safe now." Lily nodded, still trying to process what was happening. She felt a mix of emotions, gratitude towards her rescuer, but also fear and uncertainty. Who was this stranger? What did he want from her? As the stranger pulled her away from her captor, Lily caught a glimpse of something shiny on the ground. It was a small, silver locket, partially hidden in the shadows. She felt an inexplicable pull towards it, as if it held a secret or a message meant just for her. Without thinking, Lily reached out and snatched the locket, tucking it into her pocket. The stranger didn't seem to notice, his focus fixed on getting her out of the alley. As they emerged into the bright lights of the city, Lily blinked, feeling a sense of disorientation. The stranger led her to a sleek black car, opening the door for her to slide in. "Where are we going?" she asked, trying to sound calm. "A safe place," he replied, his eyes scanning the surroundings before he got in beside her. Lily felt a sense of unease as the car sped away from the alley. She didn't know this stranger's true intentions, but she had a feeling her life was about to change forever. As they drove through the city, Lily's mind raced with questions. Who was this stranger? What did he want from her? And what secrets lay hidden in the silver locket now clutched in her hand? Suddenly, the stranger spoke up, his voice low and mysterious. "Lily, we're almost there. But before we arrive, I need to tell you something. Your life is in danger. And the only way to keep you safe is to make you forget who you are." Lily's heart skipped a beat. Forget who she was? What did that even mean? And why would this stranger care about her safety? Before she could ask any questions, the car pulled up to a sleek, modern building. The stranger opened the door, gesturing for her to get out. "Welcome to your new home, Lily," he said, his eyes glinting with an enigmatic smile. "Or should I say, welcome to your new life." Lily stepped out of the car, her mind reeling with questions. What did he mean by new life? And why did she need to forget who she was? As she followed the stranger into the building, she noticed a strange symbol etched into the wall. It looked like a cross with two curved horns on either side, and it seemed to pulse with a faint, eerie glow. The stranger led her to a sleek, modern room filled with strange equipment and machines. A woman with short, spiky hair and a white lab coat greeted them, her eyes fixed intently on Lily. "Welcome, Lily," she said, her voice firm but gentle. "I'm Dr. Rachel Kim. We've been waiting for you." Lily's heart raced as Dr. Kim began to explain the procedure. "We're going to erase your memories, Lily. Make you forget your past, your family, your friends. It's the only way to keep you safe." Lily felt a surge of panic. "No," she protested, "I won't let you do it." But the stranger's grip on her arm tightened. "It's for your own good, Lily," he said, his voice cold and detached. "Trust us." As Dr. Kim began to prep the equipment, Lily realized she was trapped. And the symbol on the wall seemed to be pulsing faster, as if urging her towards a fate she couldn't escape. Lily struggled and kicked, but the stranger's grip was too strong. Dr. Kim approached her with a syringe, its contents glowing with an otherworldly light. "No, please," Lily begged, tears streaming down her face. "Don't do this to me." But Dr. Kim's expression was resolute. "It's for your own good, Lily," she repeated, her voice firm but laced with a hint of sadness. As the needle pierced Lily's skin, she felt a searing pain, followed by a creeping numbness that spread through her mind and body. Her memories began to fade, like sand slipping through her fingers. She saw flashes of her family, her friends, her life before this moment. But they were disappearing, erased by the mysterious procedure. The last thing she remembered was the stranger's face, his eyes gleaming with an enigmatic intensity. And then, nothing. When Lily opened her eyes again, she was in a strange, unfamiliar room. She had no idea who she was, where she was, or what had happened to her. A woman with a kind face and a warm smile greeted her. "Hello, Lily," she said. "Welcome to your new life." But Lily had no idea what that meant, or who she was supposed to be. The woman, who introduced herself as Maya, explained that Lily was part of a special program designed to protect her from a dangerous organization that had been hunting her. Lily's mind was foggy, and she couldn't remember anything about her past or the organization Maya was talking about. But she knew she had to trust Maya if she wanted to survive. Maya taught Lily new skills and ways to defend herself, and Lily quickly discovered she had a natural talent for combat and strategy. She also began to experience strange, unexplained abilities, superhuman strength, agility, and the power to manipulate energy. As she trained with Maya, Lily started to uncover fragments of her past, memories that had been erased by the procedure. She remembered a father who was a scientist, a mother who was a warrior, and a brother who was gone. The memories were painful, but Lily knew she had to keep uncovering the truth about her past and the organization that had destroyed her family. And she was determined to use her new skills and powers to make them pay. Maya noticed Lily's determination and nodded in approval. "You're ready to know the truth, aren't you?" she said, her eyes gleaming with a hint of sadness. Lily nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. Maya took a deep breath and began to explain. "Your family was part of a secret organization that had been fighting against a powerful enemy for centuries. Your father was a brilliant scientist who had discovered a way to harness energy and use it for good. But the enemy wanted to use his research for their own gain." Lily's eyes widened as Maya continued. "They killed your family, Lily. But you survived, and we've been protecting you ever since." Lily felt a wave of anger and grief wash over her. She remembered her family now, her father's warm smile, her mother's fierce protection, and her brother's playful teasing. But she also remembered something else, a symbol etched into the wall of her home, the same symbol she had seen in the building where she was taken. "The enemy," she whispered, her voice trembling with rage. "They're the ones who erased my memories, aren't they?" Maya nodded. "Yes, Lily. And now that you know the truth, you have a choice to make. Will you join us in the fight against them, or will you try to rebuild your life and forget the past?" Lily's eyes blazed with determination. "I'll fight," she said, her voice firm. "I'll make them pay for what they did to my family." Maya smiled, a fierce glint in her eye. "Welcome to the team, Lily. Together, we'll bring them down." And with that, Lily's new life began, a life of secrets, danger, and a quest for justice. Maya nodded, a hint of a smile on her face. "I knew you'd make the right choice, Lily. But we're not going to fight them with guns and bombs. We're going to use your unique skills and abilities to outsmart them." Lily raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you mean?" Maya explained that Lily's family had been working on a top-secret project to harness the power of energy and use it for good. But the enemy had stolen the research and was using it for their own gain. We need you to infiltrate their organization and retrieve the stolen research, Maya said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. You'll be going undercover, Lily. You'll need to use your wit, charm, and energy powers to gain their trust and get the information we need. Lily's mind raced with the challenge. She had never been a spy before, but she was eager to learn. And she knew she had a personal stake in this mission, to reclaim her family's legacy and make a difference in the world. With Maya's guidance, Lily began her training. She learned how to control her energy powers, how to use her charm and charisma to manipulate others, and how to stay one step ahead of the enemy. As she prepared for her mission, Lily felt a sense of purpose and excitement she had never felt before. She was no longer just a lost girl. She was a secret agent, on a quest to save the world from destruction. And with that, Lily's new life began, a life of adventure, intrigue, and using her powers for good. Lily's first mission was to infiltrate the enemy's headquarters, a sleek and modern skyscraper in the heart of the city. She put on a stunning black dress, her long hair styled perfectly, and her energy powers humming with anticipation. As she walked into the building, she was greeted by a handsome and charming receptionist. "Welcome, miss," he said, his eyes scanning her curves. "Lily Black," she replied, her voice confident and sultry. "I'm here for the job interview." The receptionist smiled, taken in by her charm. "Ah, yes. Mr. Jenkins is expecting you. Please, follow me." Lily followed him to the top floor, her eyes scanning the surroundings. She noticed the security cameras, the guards, and the subtle hints of energy shields protecting the building. As she entered Mr. Jenkins' office, she was taken aback by his piercing gaze. "So, Miss Black," he said, his voice cold and calculating. "I hear you have special talents. Let's see if you're worthy of joining our team." Lily smiled, her energy powers surging. She knew this was the moment to shine. With a flick of her wrist, she sent a surge of energy through the room, disabling the security cameras and shields. Mr. Jenkins raised an eyebrow, impressed. "Well, well, well. You're certainly resourceful. Let's discuss the details of your employment." Lily leaned forward, her eyes locked on his. "I'm not here for a job, Mr. Jenkins. I'm here for the truth. And I won't leave until I get it." The room fell silent, the tension palpable. And Lily knew she had just taken her first step into a world of intrigue, deception, and adventure. Mr. Jenkins' expression turned cold, his eyes narrowing. "I see," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "You're one of them, aren't you? A spy sent to uncover our secrets." Lily smiled, her heart racing with excitement. "Maybe I am, maybe I'm not," she said, her voice playful. "But one thing's for sure, Mr. Jenkins. I'm not leaving until I get what I came for." With a flick of her wrist, she sent a burst of energy towards the computer screen behind Mr. Jenkins, hacking into the system with ease. The room fell silent as the screen flickered to life, revealing the secrets of the organization. Mr. Jenkins' face turned red with rage, his eyes blazing with fury. "You'll pay for this," he snarled, his hand reaching for the phone. But Lily was one step ahead. With a swift motion, she knocked the phone out of his hand, her energy powers surging through the room. "You're not calling anyone, Mr. Jenkins," she said, her voice firm. "You're going to tell me everything I want to know." And with that, the game was on. Lily's adventure had just begun, and she was ready to take on whatever came next. Mr. Jenkins glared at her, but Lily could see the fear lurking behind his eyes. He knew she had the upper hand. "Fine," he spat, his voice venomous. "I'll tell you what you want to know. But you'll never leave this building alive." Lily smiled, her energy powers humming with anticipation. "I'm shaking in my boots," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. Mr. Jenkins snarled, but began to talk, revealing the secrets of the organization. Lily listened intently, her mind racing with the implications. As he finished, she nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Thank you, Mr. Jenkins," she said. "You've been very enlightening." With a swift motion, she knocked him out, her energy powers rendering him unconscious. She turned to leave, but as she reached the door, she felt a strange sensation. The room was shifting, the walls melting away like wax. Lily stumbled, her mind reeling with confusion. And then she saw it. A portal, glowing with an otherworldly light. She knew she had to step through it, to see where it led. With a deep breath, she took the leap, her adventure hurtling her into the unknown. As she stepped through the portal, Lily felt a strange sensation, like her molecules were being rearranged. She closed her eyes, her heart racing with anticipation. When she opened them again, she found herself in a completely new world. The sky was a deep purple, and the trees were a vibrant green she had never seen before. The air was filled with a sweet, musical hum, and the ground was soft and spongy beneath her feet. Lily looked around, taking in the strange landscape. She saw creatures unlike any she had ever seen, with iridescent wings and shimmering scales. They flitted about, seemingly unaware of her presence. As she explored this new world, Lily discovered that she had developed new powers. She could communicate with the creatures, and even shape-shift into one of them. She felt a sense of freedom and wonder, like she had never experienced before. But as she delved deeper into this world, Lily realized that something was off. The creatures seemed to be hiding something, and the hum in the air was growing louder, more urgent. She knew she had to uncover the truth, and fast. Her adventure had just taken a whole new turn. The figure was tall and imposing, with a rugged jawline and piercing eyes that seemed to bore into Lily's soul. He was dressed in a black leather jacket and jeans, and a silver badge gleamed on his chest. "Detective James," the voice behind Lily spat, its tone dripping with venom. "How nice of you to join us." Detective James didn't flinch, his eyes fixed on Lily. "Let her go," he growled, his voice low and menacing. The figure holding Lily sneered. "You think you can take us down, detective? We have the upper hand here." Without hesitation, Detective James charged forward, his fists flying. The two men crashed together, punches and kicks echoing through the alley. Lily was thrown to the ground, her head spinning as she watched the battle unfold. Just as it seemed like Detective James was gaining the upper hand, a third figure emerged from the shadows, a gun trained on the detective's head. "I don't think so," the voice behind Lily said, its tone triumphant. Lily's heart sank as she realized she was trapped. The detective was no match for the two men, and she was at their mercy. But then, something unexpected happened. Just as the gun was about to fire, a loud crash echoed through the alley, followed by the sound of shattering glass. The figure holding the gun spun around, momentarily distracted. Detective James seized the opportunity, delivering a swift kick that sent the gun flying out of the figure's hand. The detective quickly disarmed the other man, and the two kidnappers were subdued. As the detective turned to help Lily up, she saw a figure emerging from the shadows. It was a woman with long, curly hair and a determined look in her eyes. "Thanks for taking care of those two," the woman said, nodding at Detective James. "But I think it's time we got Lily out of here." Lily's eyes widened as the woman helped her up, leading her away from the alley. "Who are you?" Lily asked, confusion and gratitude mingling in her voice. "I'm someone who's been watching you, Lily," the woman replied, her eyes scanning the surrounding streets. "And I'm not the only one. Your father's business dealings have made some dangerous enemies. But don't worry, we're going to keep you safe." As they turned a corner, Lily saw a black SUV waiting, its engine purring. The woman opened the door, ushering Lily inside. "Get in, sweetie. We have a long way to go." Lily hesitated, unsure if she should trust this mysterious woman. But something about her kind eyes and determined expression put Lily at ease. She climbed into the SUV, and as they sped away from the alley, Lily realized she was embarking on a journey that would change her life forever. As they drove through the night, Lily's mind raced with questions. Who was this woman? Why was she helping Lily? And what did she mean by, "Your father's business dealings have made some dangerous enemies"? The woman, whose name was Sophia, noticed Lily's curiosity and smiled. "All in good time, sweetie. First, we need to get you to a safe place." After what felt like hours of driving, they arrived at a secluded cabin nestled in the woods. Sophia led Lily inside, where a warm fire crackled in the hearth. "Welcome to your new home, for now," Sophia said, gesturing to a cozy room with a bed and a desk. "You'll be safe here." Lily's eyes widened as she took in the surroundings. "How long do I need to stay here?" Sophia's expression turned serious. "Until we can figure out who's behind the kidnapping and why. Your father's company is involved in some shady dealings, Lily. And you're a pawn in their game." Lily's heart sank. She had always known her father's business was controversial, but she had never imagined it would put her in danger. Just then, a knock at the door broke the silence. Sophia's eyes locked onto Lily's and she whispered, "Stay here. I'll handle this." As Sophia disappeared into the night, Lily realized she was trapped in a web of secrets and lies. And she was determined to uncover the truth. Lily waited anxiously, her mind racing with thoughts of her father and the mysterious forces that had led her to this cabin. When Sophia returned, she was accompanied by a tall, imposing figure with a rugged face and piercing eyes. "This is Jack, Lily," Sophia said, her voice low and serious. "He's been investigating your father's company and the people who kidnapped you." Lily's eyes locked onto Jack's, and she saw a deep understanding there. "You know who's behind this, don't you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Jack nodded. "Your father's business partner, Victor, has been secretly funding criminal organizations. And you, Lily, are the key to his next big deal." Lily's heart raced as the truth began to unravel. Her father's company, her own kidnapping, it was all connected. With Jack and Sophia's help, Lily exposed Victor's scheme and brought him to justice. Her father, realizing his mistakes, vowed to make amends and start anew. As Lily returned home, she felt a sense of closure and a newfound appreciation for the people who had saved her. And though the journey had been dark and treacherous, she knew she was stronger for it. In the end, Lily emerged from the shadows, her voice heard, her story told. And she lived on, a testament to the power of courage and the unbreakable human spirit.